Hello and welcome back to the 2019 United States Disc Golf Championship, shown to you by JomezPro. We are here at the Winthrop Arena course in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Big Sexy Commentary here with you. Once again, Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling.
And we saw plenty of birdies from 3 of the 4 players on the card. Eagle with 3 birdies, 2 bogeys. He finished at 1 under. A couple players at 3. No, you're at 4, actually. Calvin is at 3. And Cam, just only 1 par, but all those birdies and all those bogeys. And that's kind of how this course is sometimes. The front 9, I think, is the trickier of the 2. Although the back 9 has those holes that you can lose the tournament and forget about it, wait till next year. So
Chris Clements, 2-shot lead over Nathan Queen. Myself and Nicola Castro, Drew Gibson also getting into the mix as we move to hole 10, par 4, 549 if you measure it around. As the drone flies, 474 directly to the pin if you want to go for that eagle play. A lot of players will do that, go straight across in 1 and try to make the eagle. If you miss it or go OB in any way, you're going to the drop zone and have a shot of roughly 325 to the pin. The other option laying up along the left side.
surprising to see Eagle go for this putter play off the tee. I would have bet quite a bit of money that he would be going for this pin.
Eagle is a strategic player. He's got all the power, obviously, but he plays that numbers game.
Yep, and I definitely can appreciate that. Maybe the landing zone for the pin is too short for him.
Could be.
I could see that being the case. And this is that Nate Sexton play that I really like, trying to just split those 2 trees towards the church in the background.
Mm-hmm.
You did catch the second tree, but that's just fine from back there.
Calvin going big here with the layup, pushing it pretty far up the fairway. That's nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
I think the temptation is to go too safe there sometimes, and good to see him just throw a slow disc and throw it hard.
And all 4 players electing to go for the layup shot over here, maybe showing why they're on chase card. Not taking the big risk here, just trying to go for the easy birdie if you can execute 2 somewhat elementary shots, it seems like, from the
Cam
that
is
landing
really
zone.
wide here.
And that's too far.
Too far wide.
And that is a huge surprise to see that. That is a play that, again, I would have bet money Cam would be in bounds 99 times out of 100 from that spot. And that was a bit wide again and a bit long.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the putt you want for bogey.
Calvin. Perfect here. I think that's the Rhino.
Yeah, that clear champ Rhino that he throws so much and is still so overstable.
And this is probably the MD5. Nice and high. Skipping to the pin. Beautifully done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Champion Lion. Just trying to get this up in the air a bit and skip it over to the bricks.
Oh, no. This is a super early release. That's got to go. Oh, no.
One of the worst shots I've thrown this year. I mean, really great position.
Yeah.
Disaster shot, because now you got to take the penalty. You got to rethrow. It's such a great birdie position. So super frustrated at this point for me, and I'm sure Cam as well, because his shot wasn't all that much harder than mine.
Yeah, it was a decent recovery shot from your Metal Flake Thunderbird, but that's still leaving a little bit of meat on the bone. Again, another bogey putt from outside 25 feet. Cam hits the cage low. He's going to have to settle for a 6, and you're going to need to hit this one to avoid the same fate. And off the top of the throw pink basket, off the chains, and you're going to take a 6. Meanwhile, Eagle's tapping in for his
birdie.
3.
It's just such a painful way to do it, too, because the drive's perfect for Cam and I both.
Yeah.
Then to come up there and just shank your way to a double bogey. I mean, that is not how you get it done out here at Winthrop, and we're paying a heavy price as these guys collect beautiful birdies.
And for Cam, he has gone bogey on the second easiest hole, hole 1, and double bogey on the easiest hole, hole 10, as I know it, as the Steve Brinster hole.
Yeah.
One time he went 11 eagles out of 12 tries.
In a 3-year stretch.
And he got another eagle in round 2, 2019. He's just a mastermind on that hole.
Hole 11, par 4, 734. This one's got some length to go with a lot of out of bounds. It doesn't have any trees in the way, but you do have to really be specific about where you place your drive. You can play the safe play, very, very short, or you can go huge and try to clear probably 450 to 475 to find that inbounds area. We see the bird crank one here.
And this has got to get going. This has got to get going. I think he's made it.
He has.
That is such a huge tee shot, and that is just a really easy birdie from there.
Calvin going to go with a destroyer.
And the way this course has been designed, or this hole specifically, is encouraging this big shot. And Calvin has found the hazard area. He'll be able to throw from there. But in years past, it's been more forgiving for the landing zones early, and so players have kind of thrown shorter shots.
Yeah.
Now it's encouraging the big shot. And you're going Thunderbird, and you have got a lot of cut on this. This needs to drift right. This needs to finish right. Come on. Oh, is that in the zone or is that short?
It's short.
Okay, and so that moves to the drop zone.
Yeah, that was bad. I was dreaming for a second, but clearly far too much cut angle. And Cam high turning shot going back to the left.
Wow.
Beautiful control.
Yeah, that really is nice. So you got 291 from here.
From the drop zone. A little bit of a halfway blind shot because you can't see the slope you're trying to land on. You really have to be careful. I try to go as flat as possible, though it is a driver.
And that'll sit down at 27 feet.
Pretty happy with that.
Cam hanging this sidearm out wide. Nate, I just don't ever think I'll be able to not just say sidearm. We got that in my head now to call it forehand, forearm.
I do. I make the mistake all the time. I'm just trying to be better. That's all.
And Calvin, this is a beauty here. Skipping down the hill. What a technically perfect throw to match that hillside with that rhino. Just barely clearing the hill.
And look what Eags has left.
Oh, man.
Just a little toss.
What a dream result off the tee to be that close. And he's starting to turn things around now. That's going to be 3 straight birdies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. And after the 6, you backed up with a 5.
It's not pretty. It's not pretty. I was really rolling, and these 2 holes have gotten in my way a little bit. Got to get back on the horse and get going. Those are my first 2 inside circle misses of the tournament so far, but it's never fun to miss inside the circle, but especially not when you're putting for par or worse.
Mm-hmm.
On to hole 12, the downhill par 4, 901 feet. We've got the new OB area there on the right, kind of near those hay bales as it comes out about 60 or 70 feet from there. You'd like to find the bottom of this valley. The drop zone is a great landing spot if you can get that far, because then you just have about 350 to the pin over out of bounds. And again, another treacherous green with that little shelf right there at the pin. Very tough to run putts here, because if you airball that, you might be rolling out of bounds.
Initially, I didn't like the change of moving that out of bounds area to the traditional.
Ooh, boy, Bird, this is left.
This has got to just go long and get a straight skip.
In bounds.
Is he in bounds? Oh, my goodness. That is a 650-foot tee shot. That is huge. But as I was saying, to continue that point, I didn't necessarily like that the traditional landing zone was out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think that it kind of encourages, are you going to play short?
Yep.
Or are you going to go for the big shot?
Yep.
And I kind of like how it does that to the player. It really makes you choose off the tee. You can't just throw an intermediate shot. And this is going for that big shot for Calvin. He's going to need a skip. He's got the skip, and that is gigantic.
20 feet past the drop zone. Loving life.
Looks like you are going with the Thunderbird roller here.
I've been liking that play here on these 2 holes. Trying to put some cut on it, let it go down the hill, and then eventually finish right.
And I appreciate you throwing that disc, brother.
You got it, man. It's a good disc.
And look at this. Past Calvin's air shot. No problem. Crowd loves it. I love it. I'm sure you love it too.
I did. Cam going for that safe area to the left. Big shot. Well done. That'll be easy 4.
And players that are playing the layup off the tee, on your second shot, you want to get as far left as possible up that hill. That way you can see the pin on your approach to the basket. And that's something that first time playing this course, you might not realize that. And then when you get to that spot, you're only 150 to 200 feet away, but you can't even see the top of the basket. And that's a hard thing to do to a basket that has that shelf right behind the pin. And Calvin just throws a great approach shot. And you're going Sexton Firebird. That's a huge shot for the Sexton Firebird second.
Yeah, I thought it would work better than it did. I needed to throw it harder. I should have probably just gone backhand Thunderbird, but I was like, man, my drive is so far. I'm just going to throw this over inbounds the whole way. I think it was in my range. I just really needed to get on it a little bit more than I did.
And look at Eagle just going pitch hyzer. A little bit left, but that is that was a huge drive.
It was. Cam, gonna lay this up. Perfect.
About what, 48 feet or so?
Maybe a bit closer.
And, oh, I thought that one was in. It is not. Again, just a little bit off left. A couple of the last couple jump putts that you've had have just been a bit left.
Yep.
Eagle's not left at all.
No.
He's got 0 left besides going and getting it out of the basket.
He's 5 under on his last 6.
Looks like he's making like a backwards hello when he's putting to me. He's like not quite waving. He's just keeping his hand. I don't know what I'm saying.
I'm going to have to take another look at that.
Just go back and look at that putt.
I'll be there.
He never even opens his hand up. How does the disc even come out when he's not even opening the hand? Card able to get out of there at 2 under. That's a great score in hole 12.
Yeah. Hole 13, par 5, 888 feet here in the B position. Go as big as you can off the tee, staying left of that path. Actually, the path itself is inbounds, so you have to stay left of the right edge of the path. And then you're likely going to play either the big hyzer over the parking lot and try to find kind of the safe area behind the basket in this short location, or you'll play down the left side, get past all the out of bounds, and then spin putt or short shot across to set up your birdie putt.
Eagle just trying to keep that drive low and avoid the big skip. And no big skip there, so he should be happy with that.
Yeah, solid drive.
Calvin getting this thing flipping up flat. That is fantastic.
Yeah, this is as good as it gets.
Yeah, if you push that sidewalk and never cross it the whole way, that's exactly how you want to play this. And that almost even brings a little bit of the eagle play or going for the island in 2 at the very least.
I think that drive probably went 500 feet.
Yeah.
It was big time.
And when you do that, you get to that one landing zone that opens up between the trees along the road, and you can throw a hyzer to skip over the parking lot onto the island.
I'm going with a destroyer here. And this is just an early release.
Yeah, a bit sawed off, but if it gets down early and no skip left, you are still in a position where you might be able to attack that second landing zone with a big sidearm flex, and I believe that's what you're going with.
That's the plan.
But this is a big shot here, and you're holding that Annie going right towards Stan McDaniel. It's safe, but it's not necessarily what you want.
No, it isn't.
Because that is a very tight island. And Cam as well, he's drifting a bit to the right, but he's going to head back into the woods. Stan's like, guys, I know
Basket's
I'm standing
over
here,
there.
but the basket's over there. Exactly. Oh, and Eagle has drifted left as well. He's kicked out, but man, that was an opportunity for Eagle to put himself so far up the fairway. He might have even had a long look at a putt.
Calvin going for the green.
Yeah, I like this play. I think Calvin may not like the result and how wide it is. Oh, and it has not even come close to skipping back towards
It was
the curb.
a super late release.
Oh, goodness. That is a huge mistake. You'll only be able to advance a couple more feet closer to the edge of the road. This looks closer to what he wanted the first time.
Whoo, just avoids that curb.
That curb has cost so many people's dreams. Like that is the dream-crushing curb.
Yeah, it is.
If there ever was one in disc golf.
I am trying to go for the pin here.
That's a scary shot. That needs to avoid those limbs. Oh, no.
I knew that must have been slow.
Oh.
It looked to me like, oh, okay, it's probably going to fall in bounds. Bad shot, clearly, but also sliding into the road.
Oh, that is a tough break. Eagle, is he able to take advantage of the kick out? Is he skipping? He is skipping.
Not sure if he wanted to or not, but he has.
Wow. So that's going to be about a 50-foot putt for birdie.
No.
And Cam is throwing it into the curb. Another dream crushed by the curb on 888. It's happened for 21 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, no, because the basket used to be on the other side, but
Oh, that's
I get
correct.
what you're saying.
But there still
It's
was some
happened for
errant
many,
shots
many
that probably
years.
hit the curb in those years.
Could have been.
And this putt for par from across the road and another left side jump putt. Unfortunately, that's going to be another bogey.
And my scorecard is really turning an ugly color out here. I had all kinds of teal early on.
Yeah.
And we're getting pinks, we're getting reds.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin high, and it's down in bounds.
And that's going to be a bad number for you and for Calvin
And for Cam.
and for Cam. And Eagle's going to walk away with the only par of the group.
For me, I think, obviously just throwing some errant shots, but I have to find a way to be better. The flow was worse this round in terms of how much we were waiting and sitting around and just sitting in the heat. And I was trying my best to keep eating and drinking, but I need to find a way to keep my focus a little sharper. Hole 14, par 3, 413 going down the hill. Hazard rules, unless you're so long that you find that road that is an out of bounds with the traditional rules. If you're down there left, you're going to play it where it lies.
Sod off! Come on.
As you hear Eagle, it's too sawed off. He doesn't like it, but it actually checks up pretty decent for him. Have a death putt from there. Calvin as well, early.
And that is just the play you see so often. It's just incredibly difficult to challenge as wide left as you need to. Just knowing, hey, those hay bales kind of get in your head, although they really shouldn't be in the way as far as what a good forehand would look like coming into the green.
Cam needs this to check. Almost hits the pole.
That would have been a great result. Unfortunately, he's going to be putting for par from about 45 feet up the hill.
And I just saw two people early release, and I'm saying not me. Not today.
Not today, buddy.
Get
Come
this
on.
thing wide enough.
There's the width and the way that it flattens up. That's exactly what you're looking for. Just clear the hay bales. It has. Okay. Well, never mind.
Not sure why that happened.
It shouldn't happen, Nate. That's That's an unfortunate break, my friend. Calvin wanting nothing to do with that scary death putt.
I've got this to save a 3.
And, oh, such a good effort from there. Unfortunately, another bogey. And, man, that round that you were writing the script of, a beautiful chase card.
Oh, Cam, so close as well.
And just in the last couple holes, it has all kind of been...
I got to get going.
Yeah, it's not over by any means, but it is just a bad stretch, and you're allowed maybe like one bad stretch this tournament if you're trying to compete for the title.
Look at Eagle. He's on a good stretch right now. Wow, the back nine is just, he's shredding.
Mm-hmm. And a slow front nine, only 1 under par. Not the front nine I'm sure he was looking for, but he's erasing that, rewriting the round story, and he has been on fire in the last 8 holes.
Thanks again to all our supporters as we watch these tap outs.
All right, so I'm going to start.
We got involved around 2014.
Look at that. All that cool stuff. This coverage is made possible by the fierce support of our disc golf community.
They are fierce.
Thank you so much.
On to hole 15, par 4, 539, triple mandatory. New drop zone this year. If you do miss it, you're going to be outside the trees in a spot where you can make a save. Years past, you couldn't really save it at all, but it's still very difficult. You've got about a 10-foot gap. That's your only option. As the pin kind of wraps way around to the left, and then we see that dark, sad, scary place that is the 15th green in there with all those trees.
It can be a happy place, too.
It can?
It can be it can be a happy place.
Well, I hope I get there today.
Eagle's looking to continue the streak of hotness, and he will be looking at it if it gets through. Oh,
look how lovely this is.
There is no better break than that right there,
yeah,
folks.
You're dead in the water if you stay in those trees, but that thing just crawls out of there, and it's in a nice spot now.
Not having it right to the really good spot. This could be in that bad spot. Oh, catching the mandatory post. I thought that it was going to be around that by a good couple feet. That'll most likely be a par at best for Calvin now. And Cameron just throwing the most technically perfect shot you can throw. Just
running.
Beautiful.
Just keep running.
It's exactly where you want to be. On that backside, open access to the green from there. And you are going with a champion orc, my friend.
Yeah, I just want to hit this mandatory. I don't want to mess around with any more bogeys. I'm hoping to go through here and hit a tree.
And you did not do that.
But that's fine. I'm okay with that position.
Mm-hmm. Man, I wish there was a different way to throw this shot than that right there. I wish there was just some kind of way to get to the pin.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a backhand roller
cut
that could stand up a little bit would be the tricky way, but that's so risky. You're never going to see someone do that.
I'm going with the forehand sidewinder here through a pretty narrow window. And I'm just hoping to hit a tree back here.
Oh, look at this. No, how did you do that? You got through everything.
I'm not sure how.
That you're 30 feet away, but that's a layup, most likely.
There's a lane. I'm a little outside the circle.
Oh man,
I was just thinking, wow, that shot was perfect. Any little tree could have helped me.
Eagle catching the tree behind the pin. That is just outside the bullseye. That'll be another birdie, and the streak continues for Eagle. He is making a press for the lead card.
Yeah, he is. And look, contrast his scorecard with mine. He is getting strokes and strokes and strokes.
Yeah, just on the last few. I mean, you had him by quite a few going into hole 9.
Yeah.
Just in a few holes after that, it has been a completely different story.
It can turn quickly out here.
Yeah, I mean, getting through all of those that's a horse putt. This is where you go practice playing horse with your friends.
Yeah.
There's so many fun putts. Such a good birdie to pick up.
It's just one of those kind of little funny moment where we spend so much of our energy disc golfing trying to avoid hitting trees, and I play 2 shots where I'm like, yeah, please hit a tree. That'd be great. And then that's when it just gets so clean.
Just go through everything.
But that's how it goes, man. I mean, Could get lucky. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
And a good par for Calvin, fighting around the flick roller and the approach to the green, and a nice putt. That'll be 2 birdies, 2 pars on hole 15, averaging just 4.03. I figured it would be higher than that. But I guess that triple mandatory isn't tough enough for these players. I don't know. I feel like it is.
Tough enough for me. Hole 16, par 3, 391. OB all around the pin. Hazard rules, so you will play it where it lies, and you've got the pillars protecting that left side approach to the basket. Big forehand around the outside, or putter or mid-range straight up the middle for our power players. Those seem to be the prevailing choices for players this year.
This is the 3rd lowest scoring average hole on the course at 2.89, just a little bit below par. Eagle throwing about a 12% hyzer past the pin, of course.
Wow, dances around the post and back inbounds. I like how this is the 3rd easiest hole at the USDGC, and it would probably be the hardest hole at 95% of the B tiers, like in the country. You know, there's OB everywhere around this pin.
Oh man! Oh, unfortunate kick off Sir Mozzarella. The first.
Calvin, this is a little overstable. Going to need to get to the ground pretty quick.
That'll be a putt from the hazard from about 38 feet. And you're going with the destroyer forehand here.
Mm-hmm.
Round the outside, round the outside. And that's going to catch that second tree and drop down. Yep.
Thankful to be safe.
You have to be low.
bad
You have
shot.
to be low or wide, and you were neither.
Got a 60-footer here.
All right. This is Papa Nate range here, I believe. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. The hand goes up early.
Happy to make it,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It was a
Look at that.
nice long one. Got the spin going. Luckily, didn't have any pillars in the way. Waving to the crowd.
Oh, the hand's up. Oh, yeah. The hand is up prematurely, folks. He knew it was going in. That's a fantastic jump putt, and that's something you desperately needed in that situation.
Definitely. And we got a new feature here from Jomez. We're going to talk a little bit about that putt right there. I used my Firefly talking about that spin putt style. Just a little tip for you guys as we sit here and watch the drama unfold. I am going to use, instead of that push putt where I'm drawing the disc back kind of to my thigh, you'll see me go to the belly button here, load the legs, and then I'm going to extend the arm fully straight out at the basket to allow for that high spin rate, high speed putt rather than that lofted putt that you might see from me usually.
Yeah, and there's no spin on that one, just all direct forward momentum to the pin. And you can see how you broke your wrist a little bit outside the pole, which you generally try to teach people, keep your wrist locked towards the pole, but that's from those 35-foot range and in.
Yeah.
From that distance, you really have to unload the hand to get that much spin and pace behind the putt.
And Calvin,
Not learning from the lessons that you just taught.
wow. And when you say my putt had no spin, I feel you mean it had a ton of spin.
No flutter.
I see.
I meant to say flutter.
There
yes,
we go.
it is
There we go.
A clean release, and Eagle, once again, not paying attention to the lessons that you're out here handing out left and right. And right through the mozzarella 3rd and 4th. A good birdie for Cam. Unfortunate bogey for Calvin. And Eagles pretty disappointed by missing a birdie opportunity here on the 16th. I am still amazed at how easily he can go long on this pin, and I'm trying to put everything I have into a hyzer, and I'm coming up just short.
Yeah.
And he's just like so casual about like, if I go any harder, I'll go OB long.
And he did. He was sitting OB long for a moment there.
It's incredible.
Hole 17, the island, par 3, 254. We're playing the pin on the right B location today. A little bit easier of the two because you can kind of bail out right and still have an edge of circle putt. Cam going forehand. This is looking pretty good.
Oh, yeah, that's an ace
Wow.
run just long.
And it hits at the bullseye and it still gets outside the circle. Fast green.
And, I mean, about as scary of a putt as you're going to have.
Mm-hmm.
You're going sexy bird, even on a hole this short, 250, which I guess doesn't surprise me. You're kind of trying to play it safe and out wide right.
Mm-hmm.
And you as well are just sitting outside the circle. MD5 for eagle. Ooh, just getting over the hay bales. And he is at the same spot. All three of you guys are about right now.
And Calvin use this to slow down.
Wow, okay. All four safe onto the green. No one inside the circle, but everyone's happy with their result, I'm sure. And if Calvin can make this 42-footer, he's going to be really happy. And never really had a chance.
Mm-mm. Had such a great chance. Let's admit it. I mean, that had a chance.
I'm not going to label this a bad putting round, although you have missed two inside the circle. But you have missed so many that are just outside the circle that we typically see you miss. So, I mean, you might label it a bad putting round, but it's a lot of tough putts.
Yeah, I made 3 outside the circle already, including 2 spinners. So I don't know if I'd go as far as to be. Hard not to be disappointed when I've got all those bogeys. I'm not really blaming the putter.
Wow.
Not blaming the putter today. Great birdie from Eagle. Back 9, just a masterpiece right now.
Look at that hand. I feel like it's some sort of sign.
It's a talon. It's an eagle's claw.
Oh, it's the eagle claw. Oh my gosh, it was birthed here.
I mean,
hole
it's a
17.
talon. It's a talon. It's not not a claw technically,
Okay.
but we'll go. Those are his talons.
All right, the eagle talon putt was established. Hole 17, second round, USDGC.
Yep.
I don't know another player who keeps their hand locked in that position with a putt, but he is clearly one of the best putters on tour. He's shown that year after year now.
Yeah. One more hole to go. It's the 18th, 647 feet uphill, OB right, OB left, slope the whole way, blind approach. It just has everything. I know I say it every year, but it's like everything that makes a hole hard, this hole has it.
Yeah, it's got it.
It's got the slope, the death putt. There's just so many factors
Elevated basket.
that make this thing so difficult. And it's just one of the more iconic holes in the sport. The best play, go long and low and flat, whether it's backhand or forehand. This is long and flat, but what was that third thing?
Don't go right.
We wanted it low, and we didn't get it low, and it got up there, but it's way up there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's way up there, but he's out of bounds.
way up there.
Yeah.
I do not. I've said this so many times before, but I do not understand where he's generating that power. And I mean,
This is long and low, but he missed the flat.
yep.
Just barely squeaks OB for Cam.
Let me get a confirmation here. Cam's, I'm sure at this point, he's pretty sure it's out of bounds. There's the confirmation. Let's see if you can get all 3 of those down here. You're going with your Excal, I believe.
A destroyer, actually, on this.
Nope, it's an Excalibur. I am going to...
I remember it differently, but you might be right.
And your Excal is out high, and it is low-ish.
It's not flat.
High.
It isn't
Okay.
flat, folks.
Oh, no. This is rolling like only a destroyer would. Weird.
But it settles.
Yeah.
It's low. It's long.
And it's flat.
It's not flat enough. He powered it. I mean, had it been a little lower or shorter, that angle wasn't too bad. He's just pushing so far.
Yeah.
The OB kind of rises to meet you at a certain point when you go that long.
Yeah, certainly.
I have this uphill run up that I really don't like. Going with the sidewinder.
I hate that run up in a sidewinder. What an interesting play. A smart play to go with something that understable, because I think the general miss is you want to go left, you want to go overstable, and then you come up going out of bounds early.
If I was just like 2 feet higher, I feel that's a perfect shot. But I didn't quite get it high. So luckily it stays in bounds thanks to not being overstable, because an overstable disc would have surely skipped into the OB.
Yeah. And Cam having to play a layup. I don't think he's going to want to run that putt. Calvin in a position where he could potentially save that par. Oh, yeah. That's a scary putt, but he's done a good job to get to a point where he can at least make a decision when he gets to that.
And now Eagle needs an up and down to make the lead card.
Going wide, trying to play a little bit of skip, getting a good one. Oh, yeah. He's all the way down to the pin.
And that'll do it.
Eagle's going to successfully chase his way up to lead.
UC Maresma, Discmania CEO, was standing next to me saying, okay, Eagle needs this to make lead card. And I said, yeah. And then as Eagle was reaching back, he's like, come on, you skinny little kid. And then there it was. He was intense. He really wanted Eagle. Oh,
no.
Gosh,
what is that?
That was a little right, but it should have stuck. Strong side.
Oh, man, that was so many chains there.
But yeah, UC willing Eagle on, and he does it. He's going to move up to the lead card with just a fantastic back nine.
Yeah.
He was the slowest starter in our group, and he's just going to obliterate everybody else.
6 down, the back nine is getting work done out here, folks, and 7 down for a round is nothing to scoff at.
No.
60 and below. If you can shoot 60 on this course now, I really feel like it's shooting in the 50s on the Winthrop Gold course in years past. It certainly feels a lot harder this year, just with the way that they've tightened the ropes. The introduction of those 2 new holes are harder than the original 1 and 2. 60 is a great number. The rest of you guys are just kind of staying right around where you started.
Yeah. Too many red numbers and a couple purple ones, regrettably. As we look at Chris Clements hanging on, as well as Nathan Queen. Look
Another
at Fire
great round.
Emoji Locastro.
I play with him
Minus
on 4th card.
10.
He played phenomenal all around, made a lot of really big putts. We're going to have James Conrad, Drew Gibson.
What?
I don't remember the last
we
two.
we
It
will
went too
get you
fast.
there. We will get you there. Incredible golf being played by our lefties. Chris Clements, Nathan Queen. Great story there as these guys are pushing for a big title in their careers.
Oh, Chris Dickerson and Alex Russell just joined the party. They're going to be on that chase card as well. I just remembered.
There you go. This guy's a professional. Thank you guys so much for watching our round 2 coverage. We will be back tomorrow with round 3 action. It's moving day at the United States Championship.
Big Sexy, we out.